Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today we are going to talk about Modern Horizons 3, the current market and the dynamics going on behind it, and my perspective as a game store. Things are going a little bit differently than I think a lot of people anticipated. The demand for singles is absolutely insane. And maybe that's not different than what people anticipated. But everybody was saying, buy singles, buy singles, buy singles. And what it has done is created this really interesting graph on some of the cards where you have huge spikes, huge drops, huge spikes. It's pretty interesting to see where all these cards are ending up. And the people that I am chatting with who opened up a ton of product, as you guys know, I elected to not open up a ton of product. I bought a bunch of sealed product, more sealed product from this set than I have purchased for just about any Magic set ever. I think that's true. More sealed product than I've purchased for any Magic set ever. And I elected to not crack singles and do this whole competing to move singles and that kind of thing. But I have been talking to a lot of people who are doing that. And it's really interesting to hear that they are selling out of many of their cards. They are putting up, cases of play boosters overnight. It is selling within 24 hours, and their inventory on MH3 is basically non-existent. So the demand for singles is absolutely insane. Now, don't get me wrong, we are seeing the prices drop of most cards. I kind of went through most of TCG Player. There's a couple cards that are kind of starting to rebound and starting to spike back up. For the vast majority of the cards, it appears we have reached somewhere close to the bottom, maybe somewhere between 15 and 20% from the potential bottom once the set is kind of fully out there and that kind of thing. But the demand for singles is what everybody is talking about. And I want to share with you a little bit of my perspective on that. I don't think that I missed out on a bunch of profit or whatever, because a sealed product has been selling like crazy in our store. People are so excited for the set at a local level, even though the price point is high, even though, whatever, the excitement level for this set is really, really strong. And I think the amount of work and energy that goes into cracking for singles, in my opinion, just isn't always worth it. Now, if I needed that kind of cash flow, that would be different. But I kind of set myself up this last 6 months to be able to sit on some product and to be able to have product for a long time in the store. The goal for me is that I will always have Modern Horizons 3, even when maybe some local other stores don't have it or the market starts to move up on the price. I won't have to restock from distro when they raise the price. I won't have to restock from the secondary market. I will just have some inventory behind, which is kind of different than the average Magic store has been doing in the recently. It's more of what people used to do in the past. So we'll see how it works out. But I wanted to share that the demand for singles seems to be insane. And I think that means that at some point, supply will run out of sealed product that they are cracking. So the way that this works is kind of hard to explain it all in a video. But the way that this works is all these single sellers who are cracking boxes, they're mostly probably buying from distro or around distro costs from other people like me. I've got the Gold Wizard thing where people picked up some play boosters and some collector boosters. I didn't do at cost for that because it was pre-order, but it was pretty cheap. And a lot of those people are cracking open those boxes. Now, when they go and they run out of product, they have to go somewhere else if they're gonna go for Modern Horizons 3. And I don't think that the EV compared to market price plus taxes plus shipping is going to turn out a profit for the single sellers. I think the only place of which the single sellers are going to be able to churn out a profit from is if they are able to buy at that distro cost and that kind of thing. And so what that turns into is that the supply eventually will bottleneck or run out on the secondary market of a lot of these singles. Whereas right now you have all these new sellers. If you pull up Modern Horizons 3 singles and you just look through the list, the first 8 to 10 sellers have under 200 rating. It's kind of incredible. The amount of sellers that are new selling Modern Horizons 3 is really surprising to me. And eventually those sellers will run out of product to crack in order to list more cards. And so that's going to drive the market into an interesting dynamic. I think that is when we will start seeing the sealed product start drifting back up. The sealed product, I'm honestly still shocked that it has held so much value. I thought on the actual release on Friday, when all the sellers could list the product and not just kind of the early stores that can list, I thought we'd see a dip into like the 375s, but it didn't. Dipped to like 390, 395 for the collector boxes. Play boosters dipped to like the 255s, 260s. All prices that as a store, I'm happy to see. You know, we're a little bit more expensive in store, but you know, you've got that impulse buy. No one's gonna be upset about paying $5 or $10 more per box or whatever it is, 5 or 10% more. Because they have to pay all that other stuff anyway. So anyway, I think Modern Horizons 3 is in this little inflection point where the supply of singles is just continuing, and eventually that sealed supply that these single sellers have already purchased will start drying up. And at that point, I think we're gonna start seeing some upticks on some stuff. Now, I would still say 2 to 3 weeks. I think a lot of the fetch lands, they're currently sitting at $10 to $15. I don't see those deteriorating too much more, but I do think they could go down a little bit before they start moving up. And the supply of the singles is still pretty high, but the volume of sales is also incredibly high. So it's a really, timing this is gonna be really interesting. My opinion would be to start picking up the cards that you're looking for kind of slowly over the next 2 weeks. We've seen a huge dip down, and I think I would want to pick up most of the cards. I'm thinking about getting a bunch of the fetch lands and the Eldrazi's. I'm gonna wanna pick those up before like the 3-week mark from today. I just think at some point things will start drifting up. You can't time the bottom, but you can look at it and say, okay, things have dropped significantly. We've had 3 or 4 days of consistent pricing where the supply is, you know, not outpacing the demand. And so that's the time, in my opinion, to start picking up some singles. I think sealed product, I think it's going to start moving slower. I think the volume of sales is going to slow down as we have things like Bloomborough that's exciting people. You have things like Assassin's Creed. I don't really know how much excitement there is for Assassin's Creed. I think the volume of sales is going to slow down for a little bit. That being said, there's no more product that I'm hearing of from collector box perspective. So if there's not more product going to the market, it doesn't matter if the volume of sales slows down because there's no additional supply that will really hit the market. And especially from a local store perspective, I have no incentive to put boxes on TCG Player because boxes are selling in the store. And so why would I go to TCG Player and sell boxes for, you know, 10 to 15% less on TCG Player, plus pay the fees of 15%, plus pay shipping? There's no incentive for stores right now to put boxes on TCG Player because the demand for the product is so high that it just never needs to get there. I have boxes here in store, they're moving, packs are moving, people are excited about it. So there's no reason. Same thing with the Commander decks. So again, the supply is not going to make it to TCG Player because most of the local stores just don't need to do that. So those are my thoughts. Sorry it was kind of convoluted on Modern Horizons 3. I think the set's doing really good. You're starting to see cards picked up in a couple different formats and a couple different decks, and you're starting to see the power level of those cards sneak up. And so this is, in my opinion, the time to start evaluating what do you want for your decks, what do you want to add. We're done with pre-order prices. The market's kind of accepted some price points, and that's what I would be doing. Have yourselves a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. If you want to hop into the Discord server, head on over to KitchenTableTCG.com, and you can support the channel there if you wish. I hope you have yourself a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.